All right, we're live.
Good evening, America. Welcome to Powers of Thrive. I'm your big homie, D. Wills. I'm filling in for Dale. I'm here with my buddy Cliff Blodgett. And before we get into our episode, hit the subscribe button. America, we're going to give you actual facts every single episode. Today's topic is no sugar for food stamps. What do you think, Cliff?
Yeah, so at first, what the media was saying, it sounded like clickbait at the time. They were making it seem like they had already enacted new rules and regulations so that if you're on food stamps, you can't get anything with sugar in it, like candy, cake, soda, all that stuff. After analyzing it, none of this has went into effect yet. There's 10 or 12 states that are floating bills on a state level. There's nothing at the federal level at this point, but they're talking about it. But on the state level, and Texas is one of them, and I forget what the other 10 or 11 states are, but what the regulations would do if you're on SNAP programs, it would stop you from getting anything with high amounts of sugar, like candy, cake, Twinkies, Ho-Hos, all that kind of crap. That's not really food. So there's this big turmoil about it because, of course, people that are on food stamps don't want to be told what they can get and what they can't get. But on the other hand, from a health perspective, feeding that high sugar food to kids, that's almost equal to child abuse, because you're really cursing your kids with diabetes, heart disease, cancer, all that stuff. So I could see where it's a good thing, and on the bad side, people don't like the government telling them what to do. But in this case, it stops the food companies. They got these things called food desert, which is where you just can't buy anything besides convenience store food. You can't get any Whole Foods. And they're trying to claim that this kind of regulation would make people so that they just couldn't even feed themselves because the stores that are local to them don't sell decent food. The answer is not to sell them garbage food. The answer would be to fix the situation with the stores and enact some regulations and rules that they can't just sell garbage food. If they're going to sell food at all, it has to be decent food. And then that's mandating what businesses do. But in the case of this food stuff, you're going to be mandating what the population can do, and you'll also have the government mandating what business can do. But sometimes people need to be mandated because the health situation is so abysmal right now with little kids getting cancer. It makes no sense.
If you've been on food stamps for however long and you go grocery shopping, you're getting all these sweets, chips, sodas, and all these different things you've been getting for years, and you get to the cashier and she say, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, sir, food stamp program don't accept that anymore." That's going to be a problem, a big problem.
I think you're right that some of these people are going to act a fool and they'll probably take it out on the people at the grocery stores. Some of these people are probably going to do that, probably try to take it out on the clerk. I don't know what to say. That's just stupid because the clerks don't call the shots.
So when you get to the cashier, Cliff, you've been using your food stamps to get all these different sweets and pastries and everything for years. And then they say, "Hey, I'm sorry, ma'am or sir, that's going to be cash. That's going to be $32. And then that person going to say, "Excuse me?" And the cashier going to say, "Oh, that's going to be $32 because we can no longer accept sweets with food stamps." And so a lot of people probably don't even have the knowledge of knowing that is even going on.
Yep, they're going to have to learn because once they change the system, there's nothing the clerk can do to accept that. It won't scan. Once they change those systems over, clerk can't do a damn thing about it. It won't work. So they're just going to have to figure it out because blaming the store clerk's not going to help, or blaming the store because it's not coming at the level of the store. And yeah, people will have a tantrum, no doubt about it. I agree.
But what they're trying to do is this. They're trying to get it basically to go to where you have to buy healthy foods. Oranges, apples, fruits. And I get it. And it's really a good thing. But they've been doing it, going with just buy whatever you want for so long that these people that's what they're used to.
Yep. So this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out because I think you're not going to have people on food stamps fighting for this in any kind of meaningful way. They'll have them at the store, but they're not going to go to their legislature or show up in the middle of Congress or something. They're not going to do that, which is why they get away with subjugating and screwing over poor people because poor people don't have the means. What person that's on food stamps can drop everything they're doing and afford to go travel for a couple weeks to show up even at their state legislature. I don't know any poor people doing that. In every issue, poor people are just depending on somebody else to advocate for them because they don't even have the means to show up to advocate for themselves.
Or is that a target to say, hey, you have to go get a job, try to support your family instead of just living on food stamps or whatever the rest of your life?
The system's screwed because the second somebody gets a job, they want to kick them off of the different food programs and everything. And if you've been impoverished for years, the second you get work, you can't support everything. You probably owe so much money, it's not even funny by then. And so you probably got creditors coming after you. You got rent issues, car issues, and every other kind of issue. And so it's going to take you a long time to get out of the hole. But when these people go to work, they want to go and immediately cut off all their benefits. And so it's like an incentive for them not to go to work. Because then as soon as they go to work, and the way the system's set up, it damn near penalizes you for going to work. They don't have the system so that there's an incentive for people to go to work. It's not set up that way. It's almost like the system is set up to try to make you fail. So they need to overhaul the entire system. And the biggest part of it is that they stigmatize people that are on welfare. They call it welfare. Yet the amount of money that corporations get of subsidies is many times more than poor people get. Only when it's a corporation, they call it an incentive program. So corporations get incentive program and enticements to do stuff. Poor people get welfare. And then they stigmatize them as being lazy. Hey, what about the corporations that get many times more money of free handouts from the government? How come they're not stigmatized as being lazy? The way the system is set up, the rich, they dominate everything, and even the language used when you talk about them is different.
Okay, America, we had a good evening with you. I'm D. Wilson, filling in for Dale, of course. I'm here with my buddy Cliff. The key thing is subscribers. We need them, America. Let us know what you think, and whatever it is, we'll make it happen. Hey, we got to make it pop off, America. Let's go. Have a good evening.